Lisa had everything planned for her dream trip, but when she approached the counter, the attendant's words hit her like a wall. "I'm sorry, but you can't board this flight," they said, offering no explanation. Stay tuned, because this is a story you will not want to miss. Welcome to Stories with Mr. Gray. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe, like, and drop your country's flag in the comments below. At the bustling airport terminal, travelers hurry to and fro, their luggage in hand. Among them stands Lisa, a 19-year-old black girl, at the check-in counter, feeling a surge of anxiety. The staff member behind the counter remains cold and dismissive. She's confused, wondering why she's being treated this way. Lisa grips her bag tightly, her eyes darting nervously around the terminal. No one seems to notice the tension between her and the staff member. The air feels thick with anticipation. The staff member barely acknowledges her presence, instead focusing intently on their computer screen. Lisa takes a deep breath and tries again. I have my flight ticket, my ID. Everything is in order. Why can't I board?" she asks, her voice trembling slightly, unsure of what to expect. The staff member looks up briefly, offering no warmth, and dismisses her concerns. "I don't need to explain myself. Just go. We have our protocols." They respond coldly, turning back to their work. Frustration floods Lisa's chest, but she forces herself to stay calm. She gathers her thoughts. "But I have everything. Why am I being stopped?" she says softly, more to herself than to the agent. Her heart races as she feels the weight of being dismissed without an explanation. She's done everything right. She has followed all the rules, prepared all the necessary documents, and yet she's being treated like she doesn't belong here. Lisa's hands shake as she grips her bag even tighter, her face flushing with a mix of confusion and frustration. She tries to speak again, but the words catch in her throat. The staff member's indifference makes it impossible to have a rational conversation. "I can't just be sent away like this," she thinks, but as her voice falters, she begins to wonder if speaking up is even worth it. The sound of the terminal fades into the background as Lisa stands there, isolated and small in the vast space around her. People pass by, their lives seemingly unaffected by the injustice unfolding before them. A few travelers glance over at her, but no one stops to ask what's wrong. Lisa feels invisible. Her confusion deepens as she tries to process what's happening. She barely hears the staff member as they speak again, their voice almost mocking. "I told you already, you can't board. There's nothing more to discuss." Lisa's throat tightens with emotion, but she responds quietly. "But I've done everything right. I have a confirmation, my passport. I followed the rules." Something shifts within her. A small spark of defiance ignites, and she pushes back against the mounting sense of powerlessness. "I need to speak to a supervisor. Please," she says, her voice stronger now, filled with the resolve to be heard. The staff member doesn't respond at first. There's a brief silence, and then they mutter dismissively, "I'll let you know if one is available. Now, if you could step aside, we have other customers." Lisa, her shoulders sagging with frustration, takes a step back. She stands there, feeling the weight of the situation crash over her. The air around her feels colder now. She wants to cry, but something inside of her refuses to let the tears fall. Her phone buzzes in her pocket, but she doesn't check it. She's lost in the moment, overwhelmed by the rejection, by the uncertainty of what's happening to her. She looks around helplessly. There's no one to turn to, no one who can help her in this moment. As the staff member serves the next customer with a smile, Lisa feels the sharp sting of being invisible once again. Then, the door to the terminal swings open, and a familiar voice cuts through the noise of the bustling airport. "What seems to be the problem here?" Lisa's head snaps up. Her eyes meet her father's, and for the first time in what feels like forever, a sense of relief washes over her. Her father isn't just any man. He's the CEO of a major tech company, a household name, his presence commanding attention. His voice carries a quiet authority that immediately shifts the dynamics in the room. He stands tall, his presence commanding attention. His voice carries a quiet authority that immediately shifts the dynamics in the room. Lisa can barely get the words out. "Dad, they won't let me board," she says softly, barely above a whisper. But the weight of the situation lifts just a little. Her father steps forward, his body rigid with authority, standing beside her. His every movement is measured, deliberate, as if the weight of the situation is more than he's willing to tolerate. He locks eyes with the staff member behind the counter, his gaze piercing and unwavering. "I'm asking you one last time. What is the issue here?" His voice is low, but sharp, each word cutting through the tension in the air. "Why is my daughter being denied entry?" The silence hangs for a moment, thick and suffocating. "Will one of you answer me now?" His voice rises. The staff member's fingers twitch at the keyboard, but no words come out. Her father doesn't break eye contact, his stance unwavering. "Well," he presses, his voice even more chilling now, "are you going to explain yourself? Or are we going to keep wasting time?" A cold sweat forms on the staff member's brow, and they glance nervously at their colleague, who stands awkwardly nearby, clearly unsure of how to react. Her father leans in slightly, his voice dropping to a menacing whisper. "I will make sure this goes further than this counter." "You don't want that." The staff member's lips tremble before they finally stammer. "Yes, sir. I need to check with my supervisor." Her father's gaze doesn't waver, his eyes still locked on the staff member with a force that almost feels like it could burn through them. He nods once, a sharp, commanding motion. "Do it. Now." The staff member backs away, stumbling slightly as they rush toward the back office, clearly rattled. Her father remains where he is, his eyes scanning the terminal like he's waiting for a response, unshaken by the chaos around him. Lisa stands there, heart still pounding in her chest. But now, with her father by her side, she feels a strange sense of power returning. The frustration is still there, but it's no longer just hers to carry. Minutes stretch into what feels like an eternity. The hum of the terminal, the chatter of distant voices, the clacking of keyboards, all blur into the background as Lisa watches her father. His presence is commanding, and yet, there's something quietly terrifying about the way he handles the situation. The staff member returns, visibly tense, followed by a supervisor. The supervisor is a middle-aged woman with sharp features and an icy demeanor. She walks briskly toward the counter, her eyes flicking from Lisa's father to the staff member, then to Lisa herself. "What's the problem here?" the supervisor asks sharply, her tone tight with impatience. The staff member stammers, trying to explain, but the words catch in their throat. There's been some confusion in the system. We just need to confirm some details before she can board." Her father's voice cuts through the air like a blade. "Confusion? Are you telling me you've been preventing my daughter from boarding over something that should have been sorted out long ago?" His eyes narrow, locking onto the supervisor. "You both know this is about much more than a paperwork issue." The supervisor hesitates for a moment, her eyes flicking between Lisa, her father, and the staff member. It's clear that the pressure is mounting, and for the first time, the supervisor's confident exterior begins to crack. "Let me get this straight," her father continues, his voice unyielding. "This young woman has been subjected to this treatment, humiliated and delayed, because of an administrative error? You do understand how serious that is, right?" The supervisor's discomfort is palpable. She shifts from foot to foot, trying to maintain control, but it's slipping away. "Sir, we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. It's an error we'll take responsibility for, but I assure you, this is not how we operate." Her father leans in, his gaze as cold as ice. "I don't want your apology. I want accountability. I want an explanation. And if this is because of something else, if you've been treating her this way because of her appearance, then you're going to be dealing with more than just a mistake." The supervisor's expression falters. The silence between them is deafening, and Lisa can feel every second of it. She sees the power dynamic shift once again, and in her father's steely resolve, she finds something she never expected to feel in a moment like this: hope. Finally, the supervisor looks away, her voice now tinged with guilt. It seems this should have been handled differently from the start. I apologize again for the mistake, and we will make sure this doesn't happen again. Her father doesn't blink, his calm demeanor never breaking. Apologies are fine, but they don't change the fact that my daughter was treated with disrespect. The damage is done, and this will not be swept under the rug. The supervisor's lips press into a thin line. She nods curtly. We'll ensure she boards the flight. No further issues. Her father steps back, signaling for Lisa to go ahead. Let's go, sweetheart. As they walk toward the gate, Lisa feels the weight of everything finally lift from her chest. The powerlessness, the confusion, the frustration. They all fade into the background as her father's strength fills the space between them. They don't look back. As they walk toward the gate, the tension in the air slowly starts to dissipate. Lisa's father doesn't say a word, but his presence beside her feels like a fortress. Lisa can't help but glance up at him, her chest still tight but with a flicker of gratitude in her heart. The flight is still looming ahead, but she realizes that what just happened isn't just about getting on a plane anymore. It's about something much bigger, something that has nothing to do with rules or paperwork. It's about the fight for her right to be treated with dignity. Lisa's phone buzzes in her pocket, breaking the silence between them. She pulls it out and scrolls through the notifications. Messages from friends asking if everything's okay. A notification from a news outlet catches her eye, a headline about a similar incident at another airport. Her heart sinks as she reads through the comments. So many others sharing their own stories of mistreatment, of being overlooked, of being judged based on things they couldn't control. She looks up at her father. I'm not the only one, am I? She asks quietly, her voice cracking slightly. Her father, without looking down, places a reassuring hand on her shoulder.
No, sweetheart.
You're not, and that's why we speak up, so others don't have to face what you just did. If we stay silent, nothing changes. Lisa nods, her throat tight, but the weight of her father's words stays with her. It's not enough to just fight for herself. She needs to fight for others too. They all do. And maybe, just maybe, that's how real change happens. By standing up, by speaking out. As they reach the gate, Lisa is almost surprised to find that the line is short. The attendant at the counter is already looking at her with a slightly different expression. One that shows no judgment, no hesitation. There's just professionalism, and for the first time in what feels like forever, Lisa feels like she's being treated like any other passenger. Her father steps forward again, his voice calm but firm. I just want to make sure everything is in order for my daughter. No more delays. The attendant nods quickly, scanning her ticket and passport. Everything's good to go, sir. Lisa exhales a breath she didn't realize she was holding, her muscles finally starting to relax. The chaos of the past few minutes has passed, and as they walk through the gate and toward the plane, she feels a sense of empowerment she never expected. She's stronger now, not just because of her father, but because of herself. She turns to her father, her voice steady now. Thank you, she says simply, but the words carry a depth she can't quite put into words. I don't think I could have done that alone. Her father smiles at her, a small but proud smile that makes her heart swell. You wouldn't have had to. You're never alone in this fight, and you'll always have a voice that's worth listening to. The plane is called for boarding, and Lisa feels a mixture of anticipation and newfound confidence. The flight ahead might still be a journey, but so is the road she's on now. She's not just heading toward her destination. She's heading toward a future where she knows her worth, where she knows the value of standing up, and where she won't back down when it matters. As she steps onto the plane with her father beside her, the final message flickers across her mind. No one should ever make you feel like you don't belong. Have you ever faced unfair treatment or seen someone who needed support? Share your story in the comments below. Your voice matters. Stand up for what's right. If you believe in equality and respect, like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories of change.